Welcome, everybody, to what's going to be a very special episode of Steady Lads. We just finished interviewing Andrei Grachev. It was our second guest, and it got progressively more entertaining as it went on. Just wanted to get everyone's thoughts as we just finished up. It was quite an interview. Justin, how did you see it?
Yeah, I mean, I thought Andre was a really nice guy, super open and like willing to chat about, any of the questions we threw at him. I think we asked some controversial questions and I think he was like very skilled at answering those questions and sort of like not obfuscating, but sort of like handling the questions well in a very PR friendly way. So I don't think, like any of us are necessarily endorsing some of the answers he gave about like how the market functions and if there's manipulators in the market, possibly even DWF. But I thought it was, like overall a very entertaining and successful chat. He was really pleasant, really nice to us, like very open and like happy to answer anything we threw at him, which was great.
Yeah, I feel like he maybe had his guard up a little bit at the beginning, and then maybe we didn't, ask like the tough questions in like the right way. But I think he, like 20, 30 minutes in, he was more comfortable with us, and yeah, like the last segment was like hilarious. So I hope everyone enjoys like that bit near the end. How about you, Thicky?
Yeah, like I think Andre is like a very, notorious and controversial character on Twitter, and it's really cool that we were able to get him to like sort of talk to interview with us and sort of pick his brain on how he views things and how he views like DWF and their role in the markets. But yeah, I think like I thought it was a good interview.
It was really good. Obviously, DWF has a lot of opinions, and there's on-chain movements where they're moving coins around and displaying different things. Ultimately, we don't know exactly, what's happening on centralized exchanges. We don't have their fills. We don't have exactly like the full evidence. We didn't want to push too hard, but I think viewers will still get a sense of, how Andre and DWF looks at the market, and we're not endorsing either side. We just wanted to bring everybody this kind of very entertaining and quite thoughtful and useful ideas that are presented throughout. So hope you guys enjoy. GM, everybody, Grachev morning. Welcome to a very special episode today. Uh, we have Andre here from DWF, who has been taking crypto Twitter by storm with some of these amazing memes. And have you done any podcasts before, Andre, or is this your first one?
I think this is the first one. I had something with Bybit, but it was not like this. It was more official.
We're not going to count that. That this is the official. This is it. It's happening here. We're very excited to have you. I saw you were at Token, and we saw your speech there. It was very fun. And was it comfortable being in front of a bunch of people and talking by yourself, or how did you find that experience?
Yeah, it's fine for me. I like it. Yeah, I have enough experience of these public presentations.
I know, we've not had the chance to talk much before. I know, unfortunately, you weren't able to grab Thicky here out of Scimitar Capital. I know his firm was almost going bankrupt, so he was potentially looking for a job, but they had a really good week on Bybit during the trading competition, and they managed to pull through. Have you guys been doing pretty well in hiring? It looks like you guys are expanding. You're one of the few firms during the bear market that's kind of seems to be quite active and expanding.
Yeah, all good, all good. I would say that we are trying to grow our business, and our business model is like to be profitable, right? That's what we are trying. When you are profitable, you can expand your team, you can expand your business.
How is it compared to the bear market? Like during this sort of sorry, compared to the bull market. Now it's the bear market. Like compared to last year, the year before, are you still finding it interesting in the trading? I know, like, you're doing a lot of volume, a lot of market making, but if the volume's down for everybody, um, how is the actual experience?
Yeah, of course, we are also affected, right? Because we have this market making business, DWF Labs, right? Which is more related to clients and partners, right? It's about projects. But we have our main business, which is called DWF. It is a prop HFT shop, right? And of course, in 2021, 2022, when volumes were, I remember, 150 and 200 billions a daily, right? Of course, it was a different story than now, because this business is just very, very linked to volumes, and our profit is like a few bips, right, of traded volume. We cannot trade more than market, and it is like this, right? But it's okay. You make money here, and then you make less money while the crypto winter. It's okay. Of course, it's
Yeah.
less than 2 years ago, but it will be more again.
Yeah, I think Taiki was kind of curious to learn a little bit about your crypto background and how you got into space. Maybe you can ask some questions.
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, I've been in the markets a couple of years and I haven't really heard your name, like even during the bull market. And I feel like your notoriety, your name has really grown. And I think, you recently celebrated like 10,000 followers. Like, how did you get into crypto? And I guess, like, why did you start DWF? Like, what's your mission there?
Yeah, let's start from the beginning. My experiences with crypto started in 2016. We had like a small mining farm with friends, like 10 mining machines for Ethereum. And it was the time when Ethereum price was like $5 or $7. And then it skyrocketed in 2017, if you remember, and we sold all of it when it was 350. Yeah, we were super happy, right? It was like, like lottery, right? And then we played some investments with ICOs, put some money in ICO, something we earned, some money we lost. It's okay, right? Then we started kind of friends and family company to trade something, arbitrage strategies on crypto market. We did some trading, but it was quite, on a basic level, right? In 2018, I met Hobby guys. They wanted to expand their business to Russia, and they were looking for someone who could lead this Hobby Russia direction, right? And thanks to some my background here, and also I had some financial experience and knowledge in crypto, and the time I was responsible for kind of community-driven association, which was trying to build some, not regulation, but some community rules, right, for crypto space. And they decided to work with me in this role, right? And it was autumn 2018. I was not related to DWF at all. But in December 2018, DWF was established in Switzerland. I didn't know these guys at the time, but we had some mutual connection. One of lawyers from Switzerland, she knew me, she knew that guys. And she introduced them to me because they were looking for someone who would help them to get like a good conditions on exchanges, right? Because when you are small, when you just open your business, it's impossible to get like good conditions. But without good conditions, you cannot trade HFT because you burn your money, right? And I spent like 3 months to get these conditions for DWF, and they started in April 2019 on Hobby. Early April 2019, with, I remember, 50K USD working capital. It was just 50K. And they started from the scratch with around 20 million trading volume from day one, with 50K deposit, right? It was insane. And we started talking to each other and become some friends, right? And then I helped them to integrate some another exchanges, create accounts, get the fees because of my connections in China. And in 2020, we started working together very, very closely. And we created kind of JV. That's I was responsible for exchanges. They were responsible for trading. DWF traded on major exchanges, and our JV traded on not major exchanges. And last year, in 2022, in the beginning, we merged completely. I become to be like a shareholder of DWF. We merged everything, and we launched this market making business, DWF Labs. And now DWF is like a part of this business. But I started this DWF Labs from scratch with my partners. You know, one of them, Eugene, Zach, and Hank. And yeah, I remember last year on Token 2049, we had some, meetings with first clients in the ground floor at Marina Bay Sands. We had no venue. We just grabbed some coffee and tried to have some conversation. But this is the story.
And then you went from that to like sponsoring it the next year and being on stage and kind of being like having.
Yes, yes. And answering your question regarding why I was not so public last years, because we did only prop business. For prop business, you don't need to have Twitter or names, right? You just need to have connections with exchanges and trade, nothing else. That's why we were completely underwater, and it was good.
Yeah, well, I would want to transition to asking about your talk at Token 2049. I imagine many listeners have watched it, but some probably haven't. Can you talk a little bit about what your topics were that you shared at Token 2049, how you see the market today? Because I assume this experience, of people sort of like having a terrible experience, you write poor very fast, is not the experience you're having. So can you share just a little bit about like what you're seeing now and what you focused on at Token 2049?
Look, it was and it is my vision of the current market, right? Because in 2017, 2021, right? All the crowds, people believed that you buy something on crypto and then you make tens, 100x just one day, right? And
Yeah.
you can make a lot of money. That's why a lot of people joined the market. But now it is not like this. You can buy something and then it's crashed. Even yesterday, you've seen BTC, right?
Yeah.
I suspect that a lot of people bought BTC when it was in the spike, right? And now they have some red numbers, and I'm more than sure that 99% of them will sell it and have these losses, right, in the accounts. That's why it's terrible for people to go to the market now. It is kind of traded like internally. Crypto people trade with crypto people because for like people outside crypto, it is complicated and it is not attractive because no 100x. That's what about my speech was.
Yeah, you kind of a really nice tweet that says, "Conditions are different now. Nothing moves. No
Yeah,
Lambo, only wrecked."
no Lambo. Yes, yes.
Yeah, I'm curious like what your thoughts are on are you very much a believer in cycle theory that like, once the new year hits when we're in 2024 and we have the halving, is everything just going to pick up or are these cycles more just a coincidence and we're just fooled by randomness?
Even randomness has some cycles, right? It is not fully randomness. And I do believe that, of course, this market, same to other markets, have some cycles, right? But I don't believe that someone could predict it. Like, okay, tomorrow this cycle will start. No, it's not possible, right? But from my point of view, maybe next year should be good. Well, why? Because there are not too much uncertainty of the market. Because uncertainty is the worst thing for finance, right? When people don't know what would happen, right? Now everything bad happened, everything good happened. People have expectations. This ETF, right? People have expectations. Halving, but the rest is clear, completely clear. And then you just need to have a match with an appropriate condition from like traditional finance, and it will go. If let's say it's ETF approved halving, and let's say some capital injections again, right? It would go. It will go up. If not, it's not. But anyway,
Are you more of a Bitcoin guy? You're a Ethereum guy, like Solana? Like what's your personal, like if if you start to feel bullish, where do you start to put your coins? Or you like the shit coins? Like where do you position for yourself?
For myself, I would say I follow these portfolio ideas, right? Because Bitcoin is kind of clear how it could be moved, right? Ethereum as well. The rest, it's just kind of representation of BTC and ETH. The market is very correlated, right? Even shitcoins, of course, they are dying when market is bearish, but when the market is up, even shitcoins are up, right? But the question is liquidity, right? You can buy, but you would probably not be able to sell. For me personally, I have some coins. I will not name them. I don't want. I have stable coins, of course, BTC and ETH, but 50-50 BTC and ETH, because
50-50.
You never know, right, how it will be.
That's true. It's hard to choose between those two.
Yeah.
I had a question, Andre, about like how you guys are running DWF Labs. Do you guys have like a mandate that you're comparing or benchmarking your returns to when you measure your performance? Like, what is like your sort of investment horizon, and like what are your goals on that front?
Ooh. We don't have like a real benchmark for every deal, I would say, right? We have the only one benchmark. It should be profitable, right? Because I have no idea of why business should be not profitable, right? It's easier to close it, right? Otherwise, it's charity, right? But we can do charity outside business. We have our goals, right? But it's more, I would say, more in general, right? Let's say for this year, we had some numbers that we would like to make certain amount of profit, right? And we are kind of doing this. And for the next year, something like this. But it also very correlated with the market cycle, right? You cannot make a lot of money when market is bullish or bearish. Sorry, you can, but let's say if today you would like to run, let's say, OTC business, and you would like to make, let's say, 1 billion within 1 year, it would be not possible. Because even if you have like nice discount, let's say for major coins for 10%, right? And you can secure all the profits, like 10% for every deal, you should trade 10 billions OTC, which doesn't seem real just because of market capacity, right? You would kill the market, and it would not work like this. Plus, I'm sure that it is not possible to take this amount because people don't want to sell. We are quite limited, right? For different cycles, we have different strategies. For example, for HFT, now is a good time to work on the system, to upgrade it, to buy some hardware, right? To upgrade strategies and be prepared. Same to market making.
Yeah, you mentioned that in the last cycle you weren't really active on Twitter, but I think obviously in the past couple of months you've been using social media a lot, and I think you've been having a lot of fun with it, posting memes and whatnot. Do you think like being active on Twitter has like positively affected your business? Does it give you better access to flows, like deals like the OTC curve, like the YGG stuff like that? Like how has Twitter like impacted like your business?
Of course, it has impact, right? It impacts. From my point of view, it's positive because what I like, right? I like to have some, clear position of ourselves, right? Our market positioning and our vision. And Twitter and crypto Twitter gave me this opportunity because when we started, right, we was one of others like DWF and other market makers, right? But I don't want to be one of others, right? We're DWF, right? We have sites that people don't like. We have sites that people like, but we have our position. And I would say regarding Twitter, right? What we see now, right? Some companies want to work with us because we do what we do, right? Some companies don't work with us because of we do what we do, right? But it's much better than people just don't have opinion about you.
Yeah, it's I think we talked about this before. It's like from the book The 48 Laws of Power. It's like better I forget what the exact law is, but it's like better to like court attention at all costs is the law. Like better to be known and than just to be a totally unknown person in the market.
Yeah, better to be hated than ignored.
Yeah, and of course, nature, like this rationale and nature behind this hate also matters, right? When you let's say are hated because I know you are stealing money from old ladies, right? It's one story. It is shame, right? But if you are hated because you do something differently, right? And some people like it, some people don't like it, but you are kind of clean, right? And nobody could say that you steal something or you scammed someone, right? And you have some, I don't know, unpaid debt, right? It's another story. Here, you can be hated because people just don't like you. It's okay.
It's okay. Some people, don't like all of us. I think we can put up some of the tweets. From the outside, we've been having a lot of popcorn and looking at these other market makers try to talk some smack, and then you have these epic responses. I have to give you credit. So I think one of this Wintermute has been pretty vocal and trying to make a lot of comments, and one of the best tweets this year is we're eating your market share like birthday cake. See your TV in my mailbox. That is A-tier stuff. um have you interacted with Wintermute much, or is just these like Twitter spats?
It is just Twitter. We interact with all the traders in the books, right? And it was the first one when I replied to any competitors, right? And I don't like to do it, but I do believe if I do it, I will do it like this with fun, right? Because I had this question in April from the blog, right, and other media, right? What do you think about that other market makers don't like DWF? Look, I'm happy that other market makers don't like DWF, right? Because it means that we do good job, right? I would be more scared if our partners would not like us, right? But they're okay with us.
It's normal competition, right? Like
Yeah,
other people
like
are.
this.
But this was a bit stronger words here. So from Chris Gill, from this is GSR, a different firm. So they got upset that you were on a panel with some of the other market makers. They say that you shouldn't even be on the panel. You have no business being in the same room, in the same country. You shouldn't even breathe the air. What did you think when you first saw that? Like, what was your reaction when you first saw that?
First of all, this panel was scheduled 1 week prior when it happened, right? My question, when it was so inappropriate for everyone, right? Why did they join this panel? Why did they not complain about it before the panel? It's my question, right? It's very good to join the panel, be in the part of discussion, and then complain that you were not good to be among us. Look, you could tell me it's for advance, right? Why you wait too much? It's just like this. But look, it's same to previous tweet. Yeah, I'm okay with this, and yeah, I would like to have more tweets like this in the future.
Can I ask? Because I know you're like looking more into venture investments and doing a little bit of investing there. Like, how does this presence on Twitter impact the sorts of deal flow you get there? And then I'm also curious, like, what you guys are excited about investing in, which is sort of a separate topic.
Let me reply for the second question first, right? Now we are trying to invest in infrastructure projects, right? Especially on perpetual DEXs, and because I do believe that it is the future, right? No, of course, the whole DeFi is the future, right? But let's say on spot market, you have market leaders, right? This Uniswap, for example, and the lending market, you have Aave, right? On bridges, you have and also some bridges, right? But for the perps, you have some players, right? But they're not like there is not like a clear market leader, right? It's kind of okay.
Well,
And what
DYDX is kind of the market leader, I guess.
DYDX, yes, but it's not really decentralized exchange. We do trading on DYDX, right? And our market share is like 6%, maybe 7. I don't remember clearly, but it has like centralized magic engine and decentralized settlement. It is not truly decentralized. For example, GMX or SNX, they're fully decentralized, right? Completely different story. And I do believe that one of these exchanges, or maybe some new exchange, will lead the market in the future. DYDX has its market share. It's okay. But it's a little bit different to me.
Oh, interesting. Like, do you actually think that? I mean, of course, DYDX is like number one, right? Like, do you think another, like a more decentralized perp dex, whether it be GMX, SNX, or something new, like, do you actually think it can flip DYDX? I feel like that's not really a consensus view. So I'm curious to hear like why you think that.
I think yes, that's one of decentralized perpetuals, fully decentralized perpetuals exchanges will be the market leader, and the whole market of decentralized perpetuals will grow because now the volumes kind of even not equal; they are smaller than spot. It should not be like this. If you take a look at perps markets on centralized exchanges, it is, if I remember correctly, Binance has more volume on perps than the whole spot market, right? That's how it should be. And
Yeah.
DeFi, it should be like this.
Because perps are obviously like you get more margin, you can leverage more, you can do cheaper fees, you don't have to do like physical settlement. There's a lot of advantages that come with that. And
Exactly.
you've been in the space for a long time, and I'm sure you've seen BitMEX kind of start the perp. And since you're focusing on perps, and I know that a lot of your tweets are around funding rates, I'm kind of
Yeah.
curious to get your opinion on the perpetual as a product. Obviously, traditional markets don't really have this. Their calendar futures, they expire every 3 months and they roll. This is kind of what that
Mhm.
world is. And in crypto, you have this weird product, this perpetual product that never expires, and the way that it keeps in line is the funding rate. And it seems to be something that you guys are DWF. You have a lot of NFA, DYOR tweets, but funding rates seem to be. Do you think the way the funding rate is structured, where it uses the spot price as an oracle, um, is it sort of broken in a way? Does it make sense? Like sometimes if the spot volume is very low, um, does it still make sense to use it as an oracle, or what do you think about the funding rates?
Look, I think it makes sense because anyway, you should have some oracles, right? It cannot be like completely unbound from that, right? But we've seen some examples when perpetuals had completely different price than spot, right? Why it happens? Because of low volatility, right? I had some interesting discussion with some TradeFi guys like last week in Dubai. When they said that, let's imagine you have 100x leverage, right? And then even if you trade gold or I don't know, euro USD pair, it would be like Dogecoin, right? Because thanks to your leverage, your position would be like this, right? And here same. I even today I saw a tweet. I don't remember who wrote it, but anyway, right? The guy kind of explained why he trades with leverage because he said that okay, I can buy one BTC with 20k and sell with for 60k, and I would make like 40k profit, right? But if I have like 5x leverage or 10x leverage, I don't remember, I could make like 250 or 500k profit, right? Which is true. But another side of it, right, that you can have zero because you're liquidated, right? And people's psychology is always about the chance than about the risk. People always underestimate risk and overestimate the chance. And that's why perpetuals are very popular. And that's why the volumes are huge. Because it is maybe not a good word, but it's more related to gambling than to trading. And I read some research about markets and casino, and it was very interesting. I will share with you later. Let's say if you take a look at 100 people, first 100 goes to casino, and then 3 people will win. If you take a look at 100 who goes to exchange, one guy will win, right?
Wow.
It is like statistic from some American university from 2010 or 2012, but I don't think that things changed too much. People remain to be people.
I was just saying, can I ask you a question sort of on that? So you put out this tweet, basically like a quote from the market. We had a good time laughing about this on the podcast a couple episodes ago. Basically saying
But-
like, that the market can be pushed up or down, you can be liquidated, random coins can skyrocket. This isn't like necessarily about you specifically, but I think like a lot of people in our industry have this perception that market makers, large firms are manipulating the price, or let's say like creating like unorganic price discovery. I'm curious like what your thoughts are about that, like how you view this. Is it something that's happening in the market? Is it something that you're seeing other firms engage in?
I don't have this tweet with me, right? But I heard another. It is not about this, but it's related in terms of sense, right? When you win, it's your alpha. You are nice. You are good, right? If you lose, you were manipulated. Market maker dumped the price, right? And it's same about psychology, right? It's nice to feel that you are nice, right? You win, and nobody wants to accept this fact that sometimes you're not nice, right? And regarding this quote, yeah, this is true, right? This is the market, and the market has a lot of participants. They have a lot of it has a lot of retailers, a lot of institutions, not only market makers and HFTs, right? Also funds, which don't care about like short-term price movements, like we've seen yesterday with BTC, right? Somebody bought BTC, right, and it was pumped, and that's it, right? I don't think that this guy who did it cared too much about this price fluctuation, right? Let's say if your investment term is like 10 years, would you care about this $100? Of course, no, right? But for those who had like 100x leverage for BTC position, right, it's the end. It's market maker manipulated the market, and that's why we're fucked, right? That's what I think about it, right? Of course, maybe something shady happened, right? But I don't think that it's possible with like large markets, which has like billions of trading volume, or 100 billions. Yeah.
Can you, because so Thinky has brought this up, maybe he can speak to it more, but he's like found himself either caught off sides where like he suspects a market maker, let's say, is doing something and manipulating price, or like he's trying to take advantage of something. Like how do you avoid, getting caught off sides in a position and like looking out for other actors that are basically trading against you?
Let me formulate. Look, the thing is, our trading is a bit different, right? We don't have like really directional positions, right? We don't have a long position for BTC, for example, and we sit here and wait when it is 40, right? No, we trade, I would say, quite short-term trading. Average position term is like around 1 second. So let's say we bought and sell, we buy and sell, right? And we trade like statistical models, right? Kind of, we try to predict how market will look like in 1 minute or in 1 second, right? And then trade. And statistically, it doesn't lose. The PNL looks like this. It's not like this. It's just like this, right? It depends on volume. That's why when someone manipulates, when someone, I don't know, does something, or I don't know, some fresh crash happens, it's okay, because you could. It didn't happen. It doesn't happen like from nothing, right? it should be one order in the book, and anyway you see it in the system, right? Because it is latency competition, and if you see that, you always have a chance to remove the quote, right? Or the system can adjust itself, right? It's okay. Of course, when it's flash crash like this, right? Nobody could survive, right? But
Yeah.
this is about risk management, right? We trade like very, very small sizes with very, very high frequency, right? Okay, we lose like $10. What's next?
Yeah.
It seems like the entire like crypto Twitter community seems to like believe that you're sort of this like DWF is like some sort of this boogeyman market manipulator, sort of market maker. But like, do you think that there is someone out there that's like actually manipulating markets, and like you guys are getting like the bad flack for it, or like what do you think is going on there? Do you think people are just trying to explain something they don't understand by maliciousness?
I would like. I think that it's the second point, right? People try to find someone who can be the cause of it, right? Like hundreds years back, right? People believe that the sun is God, right? Because it's the sun, right? But now we know that it's a star. It is not God, right? And same here. But there is no science that exploring, I don't know, some pump of some shitcoin, right? It just happened and then people forgot it, right? It's like this. Yeah.
So you think it's unlikely that there's someone else out there manipulating markets in these shitcoins? You think it's like more organic behavior?
I don't. As I said, right? I don't think that someone manipulates the market because every exchange has its risk policies, right? To manipulate the market, right? It is. I don't think that it could happen, right? Maybe it could happen like once, right? But again and again, again and again, or like continuously, right? It is not possible. I don't think that it could be manipulated somehow.
Got it.
And your tweet about like I can liquidate you or bless you, I can force you up or
It's
down.
about market, right? It's from market.
There is the market, right? Who the market is the master of the game. Do you
Market
think
is the master of the game. Yes.
Do you think like we should wake up every morning and try to be this master? What should we aspire to that, or it's just out of reach? We can't actually be the master, or should we every day just try to get closer to being the master?
Look, the market is neutral, right? There is no goal to, I don't know, to liquidate some, I don't know, some random name, right? Let's say Ivan from some small city somewhere, right? There is no goal, right? It just happens, right? I think that to win on the market, right, it's easier to accept how the market looks like and try to find a strategy that will be beneficial for these markets, right? Because learning, this is the process, right? And less emotions, right? Less, a very good example about the market, right? And the master of the market. I had some friend in the past that he was the owner of some Forex company in Southeast Asia, in Vietnam. And he told me that the best trader is the trader who lost money. Because when someone makes money, he's happy and he's living. When someone lost money, he wants to make money and cover the losses, and he will do it again and again, again and again. It's just like this.
Yeah, those are the traders you want. I'm curious, like, have you read books like Market Wizards or some of these traditional sort of, very in-depth trading theory books like that, like all these interviews with like the big traders? Have you studied trading as an art, or you kind of view it just as a business that you're supporting?
I didn't read this book, but I read Quants, Flash Boys, Game of Liars, LTCM. It's very good examples, right? I'm more about these books. And when I started, right, I used to do like a simple arbitrage, right, strategies with my partners, right, and I always been more related to BD stuff than to trading, right. I understand how it works. I can do like simple code, right, but this is not my strong side.
Got it. Okay. And before we move on to other topics, just to close up the topic of perpetuals, because I do think it's it's a unique topic to crypto. We've talked about it before, but when you look at perpetuals, we looked at it with Cred in our previous interview, that the thing with going long and short is very different. When you go long in a perpetual, if the funding rate is against you and you have to move to the spot, it's fine because you just need dollars and you can buy spot. There's no issue. But if you're
Yeah.
short, it's a very different problem. If you're short and you want to move your position to spot because you don't like the funding rate, unless you hold the spot or you can borrow it somewhere, which might not be available, you're kind of stuck, right? Like there's this weird imbalance between longs and shorts. And what I'm seeing is that, some people have figured this out and some people haven't. And the ones who haven't get stuck in these funding rates. And, it's like a game. It's more like you said, like some coins are for investment. Like BTC, you can't do this, right? You can't do this on BTC. But for smaller coins, it ends up being kind of like a casino. Um, is that kind of how you feel as well?
I don't think that it's casino, but it is like casino, right? And I will not name a coin, right? But if you take a look at one of the coins now, it has like, if I remember correctly, 36% daily funding rates. 36. Who are these guys who are shorting it and pay 36%? Why you do it? Why you even touch it?
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. It's okay to be bearish. It's okay to be bullish. The saying, Andre. They say bulls make money. They say bears make money. Pigs get slaughtered.
Yes.
So let's just chat Binance for a second. Obviously, if you want to trade in like significant size, you have to use Binance. Are you at all concerned about leaving like a large portion of your funds there? Do you have no concerns at all? Are you happy with Binance?
We're happy with Binance, and this is the nature of crypto market, right? You should accept this risk that this is the crypto exchanges, right? I don't feel any risk for Binance, frankly. I'm not agree. I completely disagree with the FAT, right? And we need to have funds there for trading. And of course, on Binance we have the major part of funds because Binance requires the major part of funds, right? Let's say on Gate we have much less, but still. And so when this stuff is FTX happened, we also lost some funds there, right? Because you have to have funds on the exchanges for trading, but it's okay.
Yeah. So do you think like with Binance specifically, the U.S. government's concerns from the SEC and DOJ are legitimate, or do you think they're more politicized of like Binance is similar to China and Russia, so it's in the bad category and we're gonna, like take a closer look?
I would say differently, right? I would not compare Binance with China and Russia, right? Let's take a look from another side, right? The US has Coinbase.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the local player, right? Which is invested by local investors, which is playing by local rules, right? Of course, it has some kind of argues with SEC, right? But it's local exchange. And this exchange was made to serve the US customers, right? And then you have competition from not local exchange. And it could hurt your local player, right? Why would you support foreign exchange, right? You need to support the local one. Especially you have everything to do this, right?
Yeah, it's interesting how you frame it. It's almost like the discussion around TikTok in the United States where all of our politicians are very anti-TikTok. Maybe it's because of spying, but probably more likely because of competition with our tech companies. So yeah, really interesting.
You never know, right? Like
Yeah.
in China, everyone use WeChat, right? But I don't think, and me personally, I use WeChat, right? But I don't think that someone from the government of another country, especially Western one, would use WeChat. And so vice versa, China will never use WhatsApp for some government related stuff, right? The world is much more complicated, I think.
I mean, Andre, since we have you here, I'm curious, kind of like you as a person. Obviously, you're like this fascinating character. Um, you know this like curse that they talk about on crypto Twitter about main characters. You never want to be the main character, and some of the CEOs of exchanges like Star or Ben, like these kind of the ones that are close to the top, but they don't want to be the main character. Do you think at some point you're getting 20,000 followers now, you get to like 100,000, is there a point, or you're not worried about being the main character?
I don't I don't want to be my character, right? And at the same time, I don't mind to be my character, right? I just have fun in Twitter, right? I do what I do, and if people like it, they like it. If people don't like it, they don't like it. Yeah, I don't care, right? I just do what I want to do.
I love it. I mean, I like that you use this your favorite emoji. Everybody has their favorite emojis, and this
Yeah,
roller coaster emoji. You love the roller
yeah,
coaster emoji.
yeah.
In your life, like, do you do like bungee jumping? Do you kind of like to do adrenaline stuff that goes up and down, and you kind of like the action, or how are you in your personal life?
In my personal life, I like a big fan of these extreme sports. I do wakeboarding with boat rides. I do boxing since like ages, and a lot of another stuff like I don't know, jogging, cycling, and stuff like that. Yes.
Do you get bored if like there's nothing going on? Like do you get bored easily if there's no kind of interesting things going on?
Yeah, yeah,
Nice. I mean,
something should happen, right? As Nietzsche said, right, that the happiness when you go through difficulties and win these difficulties from one to next one to next one. I agree with this
Yeah.
philosophy.
I've like noticed in my life that there's like two types of people that are very successful. It's the type that get bored very easily because they keep looking for, new ideas, new opportunities, and they want to learn. And it's the people who never get bored, because the people who never get bored, they're just so interested and fascinated about every detail. They keep going into like the details, and at some point that they get really expert. I don't know, like Justin, Taiki, and Thicky, like, are you guys more like Andre or more like me? I would say I'm very much somebody who never gets bored and just kind of likes the minutiae. How about you guys?
I get bored very easily. I think that's why I'm in crypto. I mean, this year has been extremely boring, so we're having to cope by like starting this podcast and do other fringe things. But yeah, I get bored very easily. I'm one of those type of people that like always has a million different hobbies, always exploring new things, always trying to travel, etc. I think that's what drew me to crypto. I think a lot of people are drawn to crypto for that. Very international. There's always something going on. Very volatile. There's always like a new, not even pump and dump, right? But like there's always a new narrative, right, to attach to. So for me, I think I'm more like Andre.
I mean, I feel like I have a really addictive personality. It's like whenever I get into something, I get into it like really, really hard. Like in 2020, it was like poker for me, or like even during college, like I would spend more time studying poker than I did in my classes. And then in the past couple of years, I just like got really deep into crypto. And though the markets are still pretty dry, and the opportunities are like not there, right, compared to the bull market, I still find myself trying to understand. Okay, like, well, right now the markets are pretty trash, right? Pretty boring. Pour very fast, right? From your slide from token 2049. But then I'm thinking about, okay, like what can actually bring the bull market back? It has to be led by some types of consumer applications, maybe like yield bearing stablecoins through tokenized treasuries. And then I can kind of build like theses around that. And that way I can still be excited because, like it makes me an optimist, right? It's like, okay, like these things are happening. Therefore, I still believe in crypto.
How about you, Thicky? Are you kind of like these guys? Are you adrenaline junkie?
I think I'm kind of like Taiki when like I need something to be like addicted to at all times, and like if I'm not like obsessed with something, then I get like bored of everything. But like I want something just like solely focus on, and then I don't get bored of the little details.
Nice, interesting. Yeah, I love that crypto brings these different types together.
Yeah, Andre, we saw this tweet of yours, and it was very, very funny. It seems like you're a big fan of the Singapore skyline. The chart looks sort of cool. I'm curious if you have any opinions on other sort of city skylines. So we're going to call this segment like Rate the Skyline. So here is New York. I'm curious what your thoughts are on it.
It's like BTC yesterday, right?
A little Empire State Building up and down and back to Chop City, right?
This is
Okay.
Freedom Tower.
Oh, it's Freedom Tower. So that's not the Empire State Building.
I've never been in New York. I don't know, just BTC for me.
Okay.
Very
here's
choppy.
here's the next one, if you recognize it.
Oh,
It's
London, right?
It's London. Yes, it's London. This is London.
Is London bullish or bearish?
I don't know, this red constructions. It's like, I don't know. It's down
High
spikes.
volatility.
I don't know. It was no
Is
liquidity twice.
Andre, does London remind you of a shitcoin?
It's some algorithmic stablecoin, I think.
This is too boring. This is too boring for him.
Yeah, just look. I love Dubai, right?
This is a tall, majestic, cosmopolitan mixture of glass and steel, representing the state-of-the-art engineering by the world's finest, overseeing the Middle East. What are your thoughts on this one?
I would say that it's quite bullish, right? It's
It's bullish? How is that bullish?
There's some Lambos there. There's Lambo City is what it looks like.
Lambos to be made,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Is
Well,
Dubai
that-
your favorite city that you've lived in, or?
Oh, no. I like Dubai like a city, right? But I can't live in Dubai. It's the weather is not for me.
What's your favorite city then?
My favorite city, I have a few of them. It is Zug in Switzerland. I really like it. And mountains and everything. It is Tashkent. It's my hometown, but it's nice now. It's also mountains, but Asian mountains. I like Moscow. It is great, but it's too huge. Traffic jam is insane. And I love Singapore.
Nice. Cool. Let's move on to some of other favorite segments. We have one called How Degen Am I? And we kind of talk about something that we did in the last week that was a little bit on the Degen side related to crypto, or maybe not related to crypto. We could take it wherever we want. Thinky, have you done anything Degen lately?
Well, I think it's kind of degen. So I've been in Dubai for the past week, just sort of meeting people and trading. But like, I've been so refusing to not trade U.S. hours that I pretty much just wake up and sleep in U.S. hours in Dubai. And Dubai is like 9 hours ahead, so like I pretty much sleep at like 8 a.m. and I wake up at like 4 or 5 p.m. and I just don't see the sun. So I haven't seen the sun because I've been in my hotel room trading for the past week. But it's nice because like Dubai is very like nightlife center, like, you know, everything stays open late, so I don't feel like I'm missing out on too much.
That definitely takes me back to poker days. Okay, that's reasonably Degen. Definitely puts me back in that environment. Has the trading been going okay, or do you feel like the hours being like off of the sun is affecting your performance?
It's a little bit worse, but the book's at all-time highs, so, you know, very happy.
Good job, all-time high. Love it. Taiki, how about you?
Not as degen as, you know, adjusting my sleep schedule while traveling to different countries, but I feel like the timeline on crypto Twitter is like pretty doom and gloom. It feels like people just expect like one last dip before the halving pump. But I actually, you know, it's like kind of depleted my cash position recently, and I'm like just max long, like no leverage, but I'm like super bullish, like the tokenized treasury.
Don't liquidate him, Andre.
No. I'm not playing the Binance Casino, but yesterday like, I bridged to Kanto, and it's been a while since I've bridged to like an Alto
I
one
can't
type of thing.
believe it.
Yeah, exactly. And I was so scared.
Eyebrows raising. I thought you were gonna say Maker.
Oh, I mean, I still hold Maker, but I bought more. I still hold a bunch of Maker, still hold FXS and Kanto, but the bridging experience, like it's been a while since I've bridged to like some obscure chain, and I sent a bunch of ETH and like USDC, and like the confirmation took like over an hour, and I was kind of freaking out, like where the fuck is my money? And then like now I'm like I bought this like very inflationary like L1 L2 coin, so hopefully my thesis plays out. But just like going max long, I guess going contrarian and like just buying.
Usually your Degen of the week stuff is pretty weak, but this is solid. I have to say, like, after all this time, still bridging to Kanto and doing this is the high score. I think Andre's got, I thought you were gonna be like our Degen of the week, but Taiki actually just set a pretty high bar. Like, have you done anything comparable Degen wise lately?
Uh, it's 2 times. The first one at the hotel when I had my layover in Dubai. I just tried to turn off the TV, and I don't know how, I just, how to say in English, just broke this stuff, and my wife
The
and I,
remote control? What did you break?
yes, break. It was dead completely, and we were waiting for these service guys to fix it like a whole night, right? Because we could not turn off the lights. It was shit. And the next day, I mixed up pills, and instead of like some vitamins, I just took a sleeping pills, and it was like super bad day for me because I need to have some meetings. It was shit. I constantly wanted to sleep.
Wow. Those are both very, very powerful contributions. Do you do like on-chain stuff? Like, do you kind of get involved in, like, trying to farm stuff or go to new chains, or you don't have too much time for kind of like the on-chain things?
For Intech, I open it just for fun, right? Is some things I do for fun, right? But in terms of business, we do something, but we do not do farming too much, frankly. We did it in 2020, but yeah.
Okay, okay. Anyway, very, very solid contributions. Justin, how about you? Anything Degen?
I have COVID, so I have a little bit of a pass of not doing too much on chain, even though I'm just hanging out at home. So maybe I should have something. The only thing I did this week was I've been airdrop farming on Hook protocol. Taiki actually turned me onto it. It's an NFT options protocol, and basically you can basically buy or sell options for like individual NFTs. It's pretty interesting. I'd recommend people try it. The NFT market is so volatile that I think a lot of these options are underpriced. And I'm not much of a trader, but I've actually been quite profitable on this app, which is cool, and possibly an airdrop. So I don't think it's as degen as Taiki, unfortunately, but that's all I got this week.
Is Virginia Kanto really that degen? I feel like
Well, who's
that's
bridging anymore? Why would you ever bridge
Yeah,
anywhere? It's
so many
like,
months after, like,
yeah.
Taiki, you stepped up. I have to say, like, I thought Andre was gonna run away with it, and he does have very solid contribution, but
I'm,
I feel like it's a draw. It's a tie between Taiki and Andre this week. So
I would say one thing about options, right? Those who complain about perps, they didn't try options yet. I wonder when people start touching options. We do some option trading, and you can't imagine what people buy and what people sell because it is complicated. And yeah, I wait when options will be large.
is is there any market with like options on shitcoins yet, or is it just like BTC ETH, or is there that kind of stuff?
You don't need to have market for shitcoins to let people do some weird decisions. Just trust me. I've seen some orders on Binance, right, when someone bought like a call option on the BTC, which costed like, let's say, $100. And worst case scenario, this guy lost $100. Best case scenario, he earned 10 cents. I have no idea what is the rationale of this type of trades, right? But a lot of people do this because they don't understand how options work.
yeah. Like, why do you think the option market for crypto hasn't been developed? I feel like perps is huge in crypto, but it's like option, like there's like Deribit, but there's like nothing on chain aside from Avo. But like even that's not getting that much adoption.
I do believe in option market. It should be, right? But when? Hope next bull cycle.
If you're building a decentralized options market, can they pitch DWF and maybe get some venture funding?
Yes, of course, because we're interested in this. Yeah, it's nice.
Now's the time to build.
Cool. All right. So Degen of the week gets split between Taiki and Andre. And Andre, we've seen you with the McDonald's hat on stage, and kudos to you for wearing that. But you also seem to be doing very well, and kind of like thinking, you might be at a high watermark. What do you have to kind of give for advice for our listeners or people who also want to make it? They don't want to be NGMI. Any tips for aspiring traders? What kind of advice do you have for crypto folks?
Maybe it's kind of common, right? But I would say that if you lose something and your losses are huge, don't need to try to get it back right now, right? Highly likely you would lose again because it's emotional driven decision. The second one, when you play leverage, right, you should know that it's okay that you lose all the money that are in collateral, because nobody knows the future, right? And we don't believe that, let's say, me or you will say someone that tomorrow will be, I don't know, something, right? So something happened, like this guy will wear this stuff, right? But people, by some reason, believe that someone could say same prediction for the markets, right? They couldn't. And third one, I would never trust anyone who gives any advices about any tokens, about anything, right? Because nobody knows what happens.
So number one, you start with basically your number one tip is don't try to make it all back in one trade. Your number two tip is
Don't play with leverage too much.
you're gonna get liquidated, basically. And your third advice, how would you summarize it?
Don't trust anyone.
Don't trust BitBoy. Don't trust people who are telling
Except
you
for
which-
everyone here, right? I mean, you can trust us.
Of course, yeah. Well, don't trust anyone except us.
Andrei, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for doing this. We appreciate that you hopped on with us and answering every single question we gave you. We hope to have you on again sometime, and everybody who's listening, hope you enjoyed it. See you next time.
Thanks.
See you
Brian.
next time. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Hey, ciao.